Rachel Zegler's Snow White drama has just taken an unexpected twist, and this time she's facing off with none other than Marvel's Hawkeye himself, Jeremy Renner. Imagine this: Zegler demands Disney fire Renner, replace him as Hawkeye, and calls him out with some shocking accusations. But what could push her to this point, and how did Renner finally respond? To top it all off, Disney's rumored to be changing up their Snow White plans, bringing in a new actress to share the role. Stick around as we dive into Renner's comeback, Zegler's controversial demands, and how Disney's now rethinking their casting choices. It's astonishing to see how Rachel Zegler seems to alienate just about everyone from fans to the general public, and even Disney, the very studio that gave her a platform. But her most outrageous controversy has to be her clash with fellow Disney star, Avengers actor Jeremy Renner. In a string of fiery tweets, Zegler not only went after Renner personally, but also demanded that Disney fire him and hand over his iconic role of Hawkeye to her. In today's video, we'll explore Renner's long-awaited response to these bold demands and what his future looks like in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Plus, there are fresh reports that Disney is taking action against Zegler, potentially altering her role in Snow White by cutting scenes and even casting a new actress to take over the role. But first, let's dive into the origin of this conflict between Zegler and Renner. Many may recall back in 2019 when Renner was embroiled in a tense custody battle with his ex-wife over their 6-year-old daughter. During this time, Renner's ex-wife made serious allegations, accusing him of drug and alcohol abuse, as well as issuing threats against her, and even attempting suicide, all of which were detailed in court documents. Renner fought back against his ex-wife's accusations, presenting evidence that ultimately exposed her claims as exaggerated attempts to undermine him in their custody battle. While tensions were already running high for Renner, Rachel Zegler unexpectedly stepped into the situation, seemingly without knowing the full story. Zegler, without a second thought, threw her support behind Renner's ex-wife, seemingly based only on the fact that she was a woman. From there, Zegler went on a public tirade against Renner, firing off tweets filled with unsubstantiated accusations and insults. What made the situation even more surreal was that she publicly called on Disney to not only fire Renner from his role as Hawkeye, but to replace him with herself. No less. Her proposal didn't end there. Zegler went on to suggest that Hawkeye should be reimagined as a trans woman of color to send a message to what she called that racist, sexist, transphobic garbage monster. To this day, no one is exactly sure what motivated her accusations, nor did she provide any solid evidence to back up these statements. The fact that a prominent Disney actress would openly attack a fellow Disney star without credible evidence left fans baffled. And it put Disney in a difficult spot, as they were now dealing with an internal controversy sparked by Zegler's shocking behavior. Disney, known for taking swift action when accusations arise, seemed unconvinced by Rachel Zegler's claims against Jeremy Renner. If there had been any legitimacy to her accusations, it's likely Disney would have quickly responded. However, they kept Renner in his role, suggesting that Zegler's tweets were unfounded, likely fueled by her personal dislike of what she perceives as privileged figures like Renner. What makes this situation particularly striking is Zegler's apparent contradiction. Despite working as a Hollywood actress with a significant income and influence, she has targeted others, especially straight white men, accusing them of privilege. In this instance, her Twitter outburst not only sided with Renner's ex-wife, but she even took it a step further, advocating to take his place as Hawkeye herself. Yet, despite her bold demands, Disney didn't grant her wish. They neither fired Renner nor recast his role. Recently, Renner spoke up, expressing his dedication to the role, saying he's eager to return for another Avengers movie despite the challenges he's faced, from a difficult custody battle to a near-fatal snowplow accident. Renner's resilience and commitment to Hawkeye stand in sharp contrast to the drama surrounding him, showing that he's ready to continue with Marvel regardless of the obstacles. Jeremy Renner's recovery from his near-fatal snowplow accident has been nothing short of extraordinary. Despite the severity of his injuries, he's expressed his determination to return to the role of Hawkeye, even though he's still in the midst of recovery. For context, on January 1st, 2023, Renner was tragically run over by his own 14,000-pound piston bully Snowcat while trying to prevent the snowplow from sliding and potentially hitting his nephew. The accident left Renner severely injured, with the 911 call log painting a grim picture. According to the log, Renner was completely crushed under the vehicle, with reports indicating he had significant difficulty breathing and was bleeding profusely from his head and other areas of his body. His chest was reportedly collapsed and his upper torso was severely crushed. Emergency responders detailed the gravity of the situation, and Renner was quickly rushed to the hospital. In a statement released shortly after the accident, his representative confirmed that Renner had suffered blunt chest trauma and orthopedic injuries. He underwent surgery on January 2nd, 2023, and was placed in intensive care in critical but stable condition. Despite the traumatic nature of the accident, Renner's recovery has been impressive. His commitment to his work and his willingness to return to the Hawkeye role show his strength and resilience in the face of such a life-threatening ordeal. He's proved that even after everything he's been through, he's ready and willing to get back to the iconic character that made him a household name. After the tragic snowplow accident, Jeremy Renner posted a picture on Instagram to share his recovery journey with his fans, but one thing was clear: Rachel Zegler was probably not among the people he received well wishes from, given her past behavior toward him, including insulting him, attempting to get him fired from his role as Hawkeye, and publicly supporting his ex-wife's bid to take custody of his daughter. It's safe to say Renner had no warm feelings toward her. Zegler's public behavior has certainly tarnished her image with fans, and it seems Disney might be feeling the effects as well. However, Disney finds itself in a difficult situation. They can't simply fire Zegler now without facing a significant financial loss, especially since production on Snow White has already cost them hundreds of millions of dollars. The movie's been filmed with Zegler in the lead role, so making major changes now would involve a lot of reshooting, which would be both time-consuming and expensive, but that hasn't stopped Disney from making strategic adjustments. Sources say that Disney is reworking the film's plans by adding more scenes of Snow White as a young child, portrayed by a different actress, to decrease Zegler's screen time and make her not the sole version of the character. The new young Snow White will reportedly be played by Emilia Forger, who will appear in flashbacks or at the start of the film, potentially softening the character's tone and providing an origin story for Snow White. This strategy not only helps to balance the narrative, but also limits Zegler's presence in the movie, reducing the focus on her portrayal of the character while keeping the overall production intact. This move appears to be a response to both public backlash and the need to reframe the film's approach without scrapping the entire project, a delicate balancing act for Disney. In the end, while Disney can't outright recast Rachel Zegler in Snow White, they found a way to minimize her presence in the film. By introducing a subplot that focuses on a younger, more likable version of Snow White, played by Emilia Forger, Disney is attempting to salvage what they can from the movie. This strategy allows them to reduce Zegler's screen time and shift the focus, all while keeping the film's core concept intact. It's clear that Disney is doing everything in its power to distance the film from the controversies surrounding Zegler, but whether this move will be enough to save Snow White is still uncertain. The idea of karma catching up with Rachel Zegler is certainly hard to ignore, given her behavior over the past few years. From her unnecessary attacks on Jeremy Renner to her controversial public statements, it's apparent that her actions have created a significant amount of backlash. Disney, which prides itself on maintaining a certain public image, likely isn't too thrilled with Zegler's attempt to tarnish Renner's reputation, especially considering he's another prominent Disney actor. The fact that she tried to get him fired and publicly slandered him with accusations that weren't supported by evidence seems to have been the breaking point for the studio. Thanks for watching this breakdown of the Rachel Zegler, Jeremy Renner controversy and the drama behind Disney's attempts to salvage Snow White. Do you think Zegler's actions will affect her career in the long run? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe and tap the notification bell so you don't miss any updates on this ongoing story.